This morning. My name is Temi Yakuba. I work for the Toronto Shelter and Support Services. I have been an employee of the City of Toronto for 4 years. I have had the privilege of working in several portfolios within the City of Toronto, many of them in hotel programs that are male-dominated environments. Through the work, I've had direct experience supporting refugee clients as they arrive at our shelters. When a refugee client comes through our doors, I am often the first person they meet. I sit with them, listen to their story, and complete their intake, collecting the basic information about their background and the circumstances that brought them here. Once this is done, they are connected with a counselor who helps them access critical resources, how to apply for work permits, how to get legal aid, and how to begin their journey towards refugee claimant status. But the support cannot stop there. While they wait for their work permits, I facilitate resume workshops to prepare them for employment. I encourage them to volunteer in their communities so they can gain Canadian experience, so they can make connections and ease the culture shock that so many of them face when they first arrive. I have seen firsthand that these resources work. Refugees want to contribute, to learn, and to belong. When the federal government cuts funding, it is not just numbers on a budget line that disappear. It is the tools, workshops, and opportunities that help people rebuild their lives. Without these supports, newcomers are left most vulnerable, isolated, and unable to contribute their full potential to Canadian society. Refugees are not a burden. They are people, skilled, resilient, and ready to give back when we give them the chance. Cutting funding denies them that chance and ultimately weakens our communities. I am here this morning because I want to raise a number of concerns I have around the news I have heard with cuts to funding that help provide services for refugees. It is the responsibility of the federal government to fund housing programs for refugees because that is the level of government that creates conditions that allow refugees to come into Canada. In my work, I have met many wonderful refugees who are in our country in search of more opportunities. Like anyone else in our city, refugees deserve to have a roof over their head, whether that's in a shelter space or in a home that it is their own. I want to tell a story about a client that I have worked with. A large number of the refugees I have worked with are from African countries, such as Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, and so much more. Many come to Canada in search of a better life, not just for themselves, but also for their families and the loved ones they have left behind. What people often don't realize is that many of these newcomers are highly educated and deeply skilled. Among them, we have doctors, we have teachers, we have nurses, we have farmers, all with valuable expertise. The challenge is not a lack of ability or motivation. The challenge is a lack of tools and resources that allow them to fully use their skills. Without adequate support, many refugees end up staying in shelters much longer than expected. Not because they don't want to move forward, but because they face systemic barriers that prevent them from contributing their talent to Canadian society. I also want to speak about my colleagues in Toronto shelters who are doing this incredible work. Shelter workers do not get into this line of work to get rich. We do this because we care about our communities and about Toronto's most vulnerable people. Every day, my colleagues work with unhoused folks, help people feel welcome, provide casework, and support services, place people into shelter spaces, visit street-involved residents, checking with people on transit, and so much more. I am proud of the work I do and of the work workers in our city do. I understand that the federal government has told the City of Toronto that it plans to cut over $100 million to the budget to the Interim Housing Assistance Program in this year alone. This money is crucial to making sure my colleagues and I continue delivering high-quality care for our neighbors.
Thank you.
In closing, at the heart of this conversation is a simple truth. Refugees do not come to Canada to take. They come to build, to give, and to belong.
Thank you so much.
I'm almost done. I have witnessed their resilience, their talents, and their determination. Cutting funding for refugees does not save money. It costs us the very contribution that make our community stronger. Let us not turn our backs on people who are ready to work, to learn, and to thrive. Instead, let us invest in them. Because when refugees succeed, Canada succeeds.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Next speaker. Thank you for doing the tough work that you do and rebuilding refugees' lives.